million years ago, a tiny spark changed the destiny of humankind. But what was it, and how did one small ancestor shape the entire story of human history? Our journey begins in prehistoric Africa, a land both brutal and beautiful. Vast savannas, roaring predators, and shifting climates shaped the stage where an unlikely hero, Homo habilis, emerged. Unlike earlier apes, Homo habilis had something new: intelligence. Their brains were larger, their hands more skilled, and their curiosity unshakable. They didn't just survive, they adapted in revolutionary ways. Life was harsh. Lions, leopards, and saber-toothed cats lurked in the tall grasses, yet Homo habilis dared to step out of the forests, venturing onto open plains, where danger and opportunity lived side by side. What set them apart? Tools. Simple stones chipped into sharp edges transformed survival. With them, Homo habilis could crack bones for marrow, slice meat, and defend against predators. The first sparks of technology had arrived. Imagine holding a rock and realizing it could change everything. For Homo habilis, that realization was revolutionary. A stone wasn't just an object, it was power, a bridge between weakness and survival. But their lives were not easy. Food was scarce, water often far away, and the dry African landscape tested their endurance daily. Every meal was a victory against extinction. Climate shifts brought even greater challenges. Drought stripped the land bare, forcing Homo habilis to innovate. Their tools gave them access to resources other species couldn't reach, setting them apart as true survivors. They weren't hunters in the beginning. Instead, they were clever scavengers, following predators and stealing leftovers. Where lions abandoned bones, Homo habilis found treasure, nutrient-rich marrow, hidden inside. That marrow fed their growing brains. With every bite, their minds expanded, giving them sharper memory, better problem-solving, and an edge over rivals. Nutrition became evolution's secret weapon. But survival wasn't just about food. Communication mattered too. Though they didn't speak like us, early gestures and sounds may have laid the foundation for human language. Group living became their shield. Together, Homo habilis could face predators, share food, and care for their young. Alone, they were fragile. In numbers, they thrived. Every night, fire was missing. They hadn't mastered flames yet. Darkness meant danger. Eyes glowed in the shadows, and silence carried the weight of fear. Their courage was their only light. Still, curiosity pushed them forward. Each new challenge sparked adaptation. Each obstacle demanded invention. This relentless drive wasn't just survival, it was the birth of humanity's most defining trait, resilience. As generations passed, their stone tools grew sharper, more efficient. What began as crude rocks evolved into early craftsmanship, a legacy carried forward by every human invention to come. Predators feared their cunning. Rivals envied their ingenuity. Slowly, Homo habilis carved out a niche no other creature could claim, the path toward dominance of the natural world. But they didn't know they were rewriting history. They were simply trying to eat, drink, and protect their children. Yet every action unknowingly shaped the destiny of all future humans. In their eyes, the world was vast and merciless. Yet with each sunrise, they stepped forward, learning, adapting, and carving a place for themselves against impossible odds. The African landscape became their training ground. Rivers, forests, and deserts all taught them survival skills. Each environment refined their resilience, sharpening instincts that would one day belong to us. Imagine standing barefoot on that ancient earth. The heat of the sun burns. The call of predators chills your blood. Yet somewhere inside, hope whispers, survive one more day. Homo habilis didn't just survive. They inspired. Their intelligence became a torch passed through time, one that lit the way for Homo erectus, Neanderthals, and eventually, modern humans. But their journey wasn't endless. Eventually, they disappeared. Yet their legacy lived on, hidden in our DNA, shaping who we are today. Every tool you hold, every invention you admire, its origins can be traced back to those first chipped stones, carved by trembling but determined hands millions of years ago. Without Homo habilis, there might be no fire, no language, no civilization. They were the first spark in the long chain of human evolution. So, how did Homo habilis change human history? By teaching us that survival demands creativity, intelligence, and above all, the courage to adapt when everything is against you. Picture them moving across the savannah in small bands, scanning the horizon for danger. Every rustle in the grass could mean a predator, or a chance at scavenging precious food. They weren't the strongest. They weren't the fastest. But they were the most adaptable. This adaptability became their shield, a silent weapon that kept their fragile species alive. Their children learned by watching. Each chipped stone, each scavenged carcass, became a lesson passed down. Knowledge didn't vanish, it multiplied, creating the first whispers of culture. Even without words, stories were born, through gestures, cries, and actions. Experiences traveled from one generation to the next, ensuring that mistakes were not repeated. Over time, they expanded their reach. Streams offered water, forests gave shelter, and grasslands provided endless challenges. Homo habilis learned to read the land like an open book. Danger remained constant. A single misstep could mean death. Yet they adapted by traveling in groups, where every pair of eyes added security, and every shared meal strengthened unity. This group survival planted seeds of empathy, protecting the weak, caring for injured members, and raising young together marked the earliest sparks of humanity's social heart. Food was always a struggle. Fruits, tubers, and occasional meat filled their diet. Their creativity in finding nourishment reshaped their biology, slowly fueling larger brains with each passing generation. The brain of Homo habilis wasn't just bigger, it was smarter. It allowed memory, planning, and foresight. They didn't just react to the world, they anticipated it. Their tool use deepened. Instead of random stones, they selected specific rocks that broke cleanly. This decision-making marked a leap in intelligence that separated them forever from other primates. Predators began to fear their persistence. A group armed with sharp stones was no easy prey. For the first time, humans were not only survivors, they were competitors. This shift in balance had lasting consequences. Nature was no longer fully in control. Through ingenuity, Homo habilis began bending survival rules in their favor. But life was still uncertain. Disease, injury, and hunger constantly threatened them. Each day alive was an achievement. Each generation a miracle of resilience. As centuries rolled into millennia, their legacy spread. Their descendants carried forward sharper tools, stronger communities, and greater intelligence, paving the road toward Homo erectus. It was the first clear step in humanity's grand story. From simple stones to space exploration today, the seed was planted with Homo habilis. Their existence proves something vital. Greatness does not begin with perfection. It begins with struggle, trial, and the courage to adapt in a hostile world. Without them, we would not be here. Every heartbeat we carry is an echo of their survival. Every thought we think is built upon their first sparks of intelligence. Look at your hands for a moment. The power to create, to build, to shape the world. That story began when Homo habilis picked up a stone. Their story isn't just ancient history. It's a reminder of what humans are capable of when faced with impossible odds: adaptation, innovation, and survival. So when we ask, how did Homo habilis change human history? The answer is simple: they lit the first flame of intelligence, the foundation of everything that followed. From the depths of prehistory to the present day, their courage still guides us. The smallest ancestor became the greatest turning point in the human journey. The story of Homo habilis is the story of us. If you want to uncover more forgotten chapters of early human evolution, subscribe now and keep exploring the mysteries of our past.